Hi, this is Shadi. Last year I covered CJI 1. It was absolutely phenomenal. Especially my favorite was Cade with all the Uchimata and the Uchimata Sukashi. There was a lot of beautiful throws. Today I'm going to cover CJI 2. A lot of people are saying it wasn't up to expectations. Personally, as a judoka, that's how I look at things. I did not see much throwing, but nonetheless, of course, you're gonna see some beautiful things, and that's what I'm gonna cover. Of course, I'm not gonna go through the rear naked chokes and the heel hooks. It's a no-gi event. Of course, they're gonna be there. So as a judoka, we're gonna be looking at them. So let me know what you thought about it, and of course, please like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support me. I don't ask that every video, but please just hit the like if it helped you for like 2 seconds. And of course, as always, don't forget to check out my first book, not the last one for sure, The Origins and History of Judo. Link will be below. So first, what you see on your social media all the time is this pushing forward and then sweeping, de-ashi-harai. So de-ashi-harai meaning, as you're coming out forwardly is when you sweep. So the Kodokan definition of it is either the foot is taking off or it is about to step down. And here you can see Tori moves away, so Uke can have the path very similar, but instead of the sleeve, you're gonna use the collar tie in this instance. Very similar principles being applied here. And again, it is someone that is being given the path and being pushed forward, and that's what you sweep. It becomes very light. Again, you're gonna see some wrestling / judo moves as well. Here, this ankle pick, as they say in jiu-jitsu, it is of course a Kibisu-gaeshi, and it is in old judo. Now in all Japan you can do it. Thankfully, hopefully the IJF will follow, but here it is where you pin down. For example, here with the jacket, you can pin using the sleeve. You pull down, and what does that do is that it will pin that leg that's underneath the sleeve, and then from there, when you pick it up, they're having most of their weight on it, they're gonna just simply collapse. And it's very similar to the reaping techniques like osotogari and kosotogari, where you pin that leg and you reap it from underneath them. Now, I have to say this. Yes, this did not land or bring a throw, but the kuzushi into this Sumi-gaeshi that you see here, you can see the leg between the thighs. Now, he was not able to throw, but here's what truly impressed me about this is that tomoe-nage and Sumi-gaeshi like this, they can look a bit similar and they have some resemblance, but kuzushi in particular in no-gi seems to me like it's almost impossible, especially with collar tie. Think of the sweating, think of the moving, and he made it work. He got him onto him. He was deep underneath. Sure, he did not finish the throw, but that kuzushi part means that it is very possible to do. Hopefully in the future it can be developed. I was genuinely impressed by that kuzushi with the collar tie. So if you do it in your training, let me know down below. Now this one here is very interesting, is that ude garami from the half guard here with the leg hook with the arm stretched out. Did not get the tap, but it is some old Kodokan kansetsu-waza. Here you can see it. Notice he doesn't have the full guard. He only has that little hook on the far leg. So here, as he is getting past, and you can have it with the arm stretched out where you can target the elbow, or you can have it bent in any position. Again, it all depends on what you're trying to target. Notice the arrow here that's telling you they're hooking the far leg, and you're not in full closed guard. Very similar to what we saw, and the arm was stretched out. Again, similar to what we saw here. Again, some old school Kodokan kansetsu-waza, and it's always nice to see it regardless of the context, I'm always pleased to see this type of technique. Something that, because of the how everything is hasty in competitive judo today, not everyone can just grab things as they're getting there down. Now, this isn't a technique, but I just want to ask what happened here with Bodoni. I was very curious watching the highlights here. He looked really perplexed. Now, finally, Chael Sonnen against Craig Jones with a beautiful Yoko-guruma. Started from here a Kuchiki Taoshi, and then uses it as a bait to grip the upper body, having the leg between and then circling around it. It's a textbook Yoko-guruma. Again, I know he's a wrestler, trust me, I know, and I know what he said about judo, but this technique is very admirable. So you see, it's very similar. It's identical, actually. So he started with a knee pick and uses it to climb and get to the waist and lock it, and he rotating around that one leg, and then not lifting up like uranage or what you call suplex, but just using that rotational force, and then surrounding that leg. They have nowhere to go, and thus they have to follow, and that's where the beauty of the throw is. Yoko-guruma. Again, I was very pleased to see it, and the way he set it up from the knee pick going into the hips, and from it rotating around, and then of course Craig Jones got the better of him. It took him very long to lock it. I don't know why he couldn't slip his head out. If someone has anything to say, let me know. So it was a what you call buggy choke, and he was unconscious for a couple of seconds. And buggy choke is really a fancy way of doing sankaku jime. I'm just gonna be very honest. It is the same principle, strapping the arm, and you're having the legs triangle. Now it is done from a very athletic way. Of course, not everyone is gonna have those hips and turning around and doing it. I believe the Rene Gracie and his brother were talking about this, saying that you want to do something, do something that you can do when you're 60, 70, or they were talking about the 10th planet thing back in the day. Like for example, here you're in Yoko Shihogatame or side control. If you can push the head far away, the arm is underneath the leg, you can grab a sankaku jime. This is very easy to do, and it does not require that much flexibility like Craig Jones used. But like I said, so it's a very fancy way of doing this that you see in front of you. But here's the thing about something like buggy choke. A lot of people think like rubber guard and buggy chokes, and what was the other one that was famous a few years back? The fly trap, also 10th planet invention, I would say. If you are a beginner, colored belt in judo or blue belt in jiu-jitsu, guys, please make sure you have your escapes and your framing down so well that submissions like these, buggy chokes, fly trap, whatever, they are your last resorts. Don't think that, I'm gonna be the guy that attacks from bad positions. No, because if that's all you have, that's not good. Trust me. Make sure you have everything down, and then if you want to specialize in those, please go ahead. Same with guys who can't pass guard and they just attack the footlocks. They're strong, they're big, they just grab it and yank it, and you can tap anyone if they are smaller and skinnier than you, regardless of their rank. And you think now you're just this submission machine. Guys, no. Get everything dialed in, then do whatever you want. Don't specialize out of desperation, I would say, or out of lack of capability. Every beginner will fall for this, including me. I used to try to do some stuff, but then I realized, no, if I can actually get out of this, I would much prefer to escape, try to frame properly, and then if something happened, then yeah, I'll go for something like this. And also, there's risk of injury. Some guy popped his knee with the buggy choke. It was horrendous to hear it. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have anything to add, let me know. This was Shadi. Thank you for listening.